intel officials, including the IRGC's head of intelligence. This is the Quds Force headquarters, we believe.
It comes as Iranian missile strikes kill at least 8 and injured hundreds more as rocket fire rained down on central and northern Israel overnight.
Trey Yinks is live in Israel with the latest. Good morning, Trey.
Yeah, hey guys, good morning. Overnight missiles rained down across Israel, killing at least 8 people, some of them slipping past missile defense systems at 5 different locations, destroying both apartment buildings and residential blocks. We got to one scene in the heart of Tel Aviv, just blocks away from the U.S. Embassy branch here that was also damaged in that strike. And when we got there, first responders were rushing into the flames, trying to look for survivors in the rubble. We spoke with one man named Gal. Here's what he had to say.
When the missiles arrived, we were in the staircase in the building. And the shock was like so huge. I never saw even a piece of a rocket. And to see an explosion right in front of my face and my brother's face, crazy.
A ballistic missile has just slammed into a building in the center of Tel Aviv. Right now, first responders are trying to put out the flames in the distance. You can see right now there are a variety of paramedics on the scene, police officers and soldiers. And if you come over here, you'll see part of a collapsed building. They don't know if anyone is currently inside, but they are checking right now. The Iranians continue to launch waves and waves of ballistic missiles into this country. Overnight, we understand there were 65 missiles, and they were targeting a variety of locations. We could hear the explosions in Tel Aviv as some were intercepted overhead by Israel's advanced missile defense systems. The Israelis are striking back, taking out top intelligence officials from the Iranian regime, including the country's chief intelligence officer and his deputy. They also took out what they say are 1/3 of the ballistic missile launching positions. Despite the fact the Israelis say they now have air superiority over the Iranian capital of Tehran, this is expected to continue for a number of days, if not weeks, as Israeli forces are trying to weaken the Iranian regime and target the country's nuclear facilities. Guys, back to you.
Hey, Trey, would you say the number of ballistic missiles, rockets, and drones are leveling off from night after night after night? Because that's what Israel is banking on, that they're going to locate the launchers, they're going to run out of rockets, they can't replenish, and they have no air defense. So is that happening?
Look, the Iranians appear to be preserving what missiles they have left. We spoke with a senior Israeli intelligence official over the weekend who indicated the assessment is that Iran has around 2,000 ballistic missiles. And the Israelis have been able to take out some of the stockpile. They've been able to target, like I said, 1/3 of the launching positions. But this still gives Iran the capability to fire hundreds of ballistic missiles into this country. And that is why Israel is still in a state of emergency. The airport is closed, and they are bracing for challenging days ahead. Officials speaking with Fox News say there will be more casualties, there will be more destruction. And you see in the aftermath videos here, these are not like the rockets that came from Gaza or from southern Lebanon. These are missiles that can take out entire blocks in major cities like Tel Aviv. And from what we saw last night, and I was being very careful as we arrived on the scene less than an hour after the explosion of describing where it was. But now we can report because U.S. Ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee, came out publicly and said there was minor damage to the U.S. Embassy branch here in Tel Aviv. This is a residential area. It is packed with civilians, cafes and restaurants. And when we got there, for blocks, you could see storefronts that were completely ripped apart, glass shards all over the street from windows that were blown out. And so to answer your question, the Iranians are preserving what supply they have left. They certainly are in a position where eventually they will run out of ballistic missiles, but Israel is certainly not out of the woods yet, and we can expect more Israeli strikes throughout the day as they try to mitigate that risk of ballistic missile fire toward major cities like Jerusalem, Tel Aviv, and the northern city of Haifa.
So, Trey, I'm curious. These missiles that the Iranians are firing, do they have targets? Or are they just shooting them out there? So the reason why I ask this is because, number one, they're hitting civilians. And number two, when it comes to that embassy area that belongs to the United States, essentially, would they have known that's where that missile was going to hit?